So maybe we'll do the scanning standing up. Unless you're tired, then you can sit down. Whatever you choose. So I remind you that first of all, we are aware of our bodies, connect to the earth, create rapport with the other participants. And the intention is to connect the hands with their emptiness. So we leave one hand, this time we begin with the left hand on the navel center, and we go over the body, scanning. We do it quicker than usual. So we try to scan the top where the crown center is, and we go down the axis. All the way down to the area between the feet. And we pause for a second to have an impression of ourselves. And then we go back up. Again, make sure you have an impression of the crown center. And then we go to the back of the head. And we scan the head from right to left. So when we end scanning the head, we begin to scan the neck, from the back of the neck. And then we continue to the left shoulder, scanning the shoulder to the shoulder joint, and down the arm, all the way to the fingertips. And when we get to the fingertips, we pause for a few seconds to have an impression of the arm or of the whole body. And then we go back up the arm. So when we reach the shoulder joint, continue scanning the shoulder again. And then we go down from the shoulder along the left side of the body to the waistline. And when we get to the waistline and we are through with the left part of the body, we go to the right shoulder. So we scan the right shoulder. And when we finish the right shoulder, we go down the right side of the body, from the shoulder to the waistline. And when we are through, we change hands, right hand on the navel, and the left hand, we scan the same thing we done before with the right hand. So get in touch with the crown center, and then down the axis of the body. And I remind you, if you find a place where your hand wants to stay longer, just allow it to stay longer. So it can be interesting what impression you have when you scan the area between the legs, because there's no physicality there, only energy. So when we reach the floor, pause for a few seconds, have an impression of the whole body, and then we go back up. It could be interesting to notice whether your hand is more relaxed than the hand that is moving. Is it more relaxed? It becomes more sensitive, like an organ, sense organ. So when we get to the crown again, see if you can find where you can feel the crown center energy best. Maybe you can pull it upwards with your intent, so you become taller. And then we go to the back of the head, and we scan the head from left to right. So when we finish scanning the head, we scan the neck again from left to right. And we find the right shoulder, we go scanning the right shoulder to the shoulder joint and down the arm to the fingertips. And again, when we get to the fingertips, pause for a few seconds and see if you have an impression of the whole arm or the whole body. Then we go back up. And then again, when we reach the shoulder joint, we scan the shoulder again. And then we go down the shoulder to the waistline. And remember, when the hand is in front of the body, but it goes all the way behind the back, to scan the emptiness. So again, when we finish right side of the body, we go to the left shoulder again, and we scan the left shoulder. And then down the left side of the body to the waistline. So when we are through, we change hands again. Now the left hand on the navel center, and with the right hand we scan the pelvis from the left hip joint. We move to the right. And when we get to the right hip joint, we go down the leg all the way to the tip of the toes. So we don't have to bend down, just use your intent. And the hand is directed in the right direction. And again, when we get to the tip of the toes, we pause for a few seconds, have an impression of our leg or the whole body, and then we go back up. So again, when we get to the right hip joint, make sure we scan everything and we move to the navel center, and then we change hands again. So the right hand on the navel, and with the left hand we scan from the right hip joint to the left. It's very interesting for me because when I stand like this, I feel I'm very relaxed. I mean, my legs are not, they don't have any effort. It's like no effort, no muscle effort. So when we get to the left hip joint, we go down the left leg, down to the tip of the toes, going through the thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot, toes, tip of the toes. Sorry. And then we pause again for a few seconds, have an impression of the left leg or the whole body. And we go back up. Make sure everything around the left hip is scanned. And then we move to the navel center. So when we end, both hands are on the navel. If you are seated down or you want to sit down, you can sit down. And have an impression of the whole body. If you find places that are contracted, allow them to relax. And if your eyes are closed, allow the eyes to open up gently to the peripheral view. So you still retain your impression of yourself. And just observe you're still in contact with the other people, with the earth, with yourself. And we go to the usual questions. Is my head more silent? Is the sea of emotion more calm? Is the body more relaxed? And do I feel some affection? Which means for me, my heart a bit open,